for the Mississippi.
Discover Huck, Finley, and a whole world of grizzly bear adventure. Grizzly Ridge at the St. Louis Zoo. For more information, visit exploreStLouis.com.
Can we go again tomorrow?
We interrupt this program for...
The most important thing is to preserve evidence, video footage, witness interviews, even a 911 call. Once a repair is
moving into Pulaski County out of Alexander County. Another storm that I'm watching very closely is a storm that is developing south of the Sikeston area. But again, a tornado warning has now been issued for parts of Alexander County and Pulaski County with this storm we were just tracking. I'm going to show you both the storms I'm concerned with. This storm is developed right along the outflow boundary, and when that happens, a lot of times we get some extra spin that's not expected in the atmosphere, and that appears to be what's happening right now. This storm near Sikeston has a very intense updraft with it. It would not surprise me if this storm becomes severe here shortly for parts of Scott County and Mississippi County and southern Alexander County if it holds together. But let's talk about the storm right now that has a tornado warning out on it. Again, we have a tornado warning that has been issued for the Olive Branch area, just to the east of Olive Branch for Alexander County, coming into parts of Pulaski County right now. So Highway 127 south of Tams, Highway 3 to the southeast of Olive Branch, Sandy Ridge Road. You're right in the area of the possible rotation that we're seeing with this storm. Again, there it is right there, just a quick spin up right over Sandy Ridge Road is where we're seeing that possible tornado right now. Again, this is a radar indicated tornado, but if you live on Sandy Ridge Road and especially on Highway 127 near Sandy Ridge Road, you need to be in your basement if you have one. If you don't have that basement, again, we tell you to get to that lowest level in the house, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, as this possible tornado is about to cross Highway 127 right now. Again, this is a tornado warning moving out of Alexander County, moving in towards Pulaski County in southern Illinois as we speak. We're going to take a couple of other vantage points with this to see if the radar is indicating that we may have any debris being lofted with the storm. And so far, we are not seeing any hints of that right now, and hopefully that trend will continue. So we have a tornado warning out, as we just said, for parts of Alexander County and Pulaski County. A couple of other storms that are really intensifying rapidly are in southern Scott County, northern Madrid County. There's a lot of heat and humidity out ahead of this boundary, and a little bit of wind shears being indicated along that boundary. And this storm just happened to cross the boundary. That's why we said all day that, and we told you yesterday, the atmosphere was really not set up for severe weather. But every once in a while, a storm can get out of hand, and of course, it appears that that's the case again today. We've got this one storm that just kind of locked into the rotation on the boundary, and that storm is showing the possibility of some rotation right here, crossing into Pulaski County right now, moving out of Alexander County. Again, this is right along Highway 127 here, near Sandusky and south of Tams, right along Sandy Ridge Road. Villa Ridge, you definitely want to be in your safe space. We've got North Chestnut Street here. Here's Interstate 57. If you live in Pulaski County, near Interstate 57 or west of Interstate 57, you need to be in your safe spot right now. Again, a possible tornado near the intersection of Sandy Ridge Road and Highway 127 just south of Sandusky. That's where we are noticing the greatest chance of seeing that rotation, and it does not look near as tight or as intense as it did. So that's some great news. Again, I think that this storm just built up right on that outflow boundary. That causes the low levels of the storm to spin briefly. The rotation, at least near Sandusky, looks a little weaker now as it is crossing into Pulaski County right now in our eyes on First Alert Doppler Network. We'll take another look inside this storm to see if there's any hints that there's any debris being lofted in the winds. and it would be in this general area. And so far, we're not seeing that. We're seeing the possibility of some hail. The hail does not look as intense as it did just a little while ago when it was moving into Olive Branch. The hail core was a lot stronger. And I'm also going to look at another source here that I look at to see if there's any growth to the storm. This is how I tell if the updrafts or the storm is growing. And when I look for red, and I do see red, but I don't see the bright red and fuchsia. When we see colors on this area, that means the storm is strengthening rapidly. It still has some growth to it, but it is not as strong as it was just a few minutes ago. Laura, are you mic'd up yet? I don't know if you're in the room with the chat room right now. If there's been any reports, or if you're getting any reports on your Facebook page from the possibility of any tornadoes or any damage with this storm.
No, nothing reported right now. The National Weather Service just reiterating that there is rotation with that severe warned cell that's now under a tornado warning. I do have a track up here real quick for you. If you are just joining us, we are under a severe thunderstorm warning and now a tornado warning. We are not seeing signs of that rotation actually hitting the ground, but we always want to take it as if there could be one or there is one. So do you want to give you that first alert? Pulaski right about now moving into the Joppa area, Joppa Junction at 4:19, and then Karnak. I want to give you that first alert. This storm is moving your direction and will be moving in around 4:24. Again, we are hopeful that this warning will not continue that long, but we are expecting at the very least some heavy rainfall and the possibility of some small hail as this pushes towards you.
How long do they have that warning out until, Wiz?
It is, let me see here.
I don't know if it goes into the same length as